I'm pretty sure this is what a $400,000 supercar feels like. There it is. So, we got the entire interior stripped. Getting rid of some spaghetti for the spaghetti challenge. Audi engine reveal time. Now, we were gonna wait a little bit longer because we were going to dyno our engine and see exactly what it could do before we told you what we were gonna do in case it didn't work out. But you know what? This is, we tried to build a community, and rather than hiding stuff from you guys, I actually wouldn't mind your input. I've got my specialties and my fabrication, my good imagination, but there's also a lot of you guys that we've found that are very specialized in what you do, and we appreciate your intelligent conversations. Some of that being, I've come from the heavy equipment trade, and this is honestly the first race car that I've ever built. But keep in mind that the Arc was built by amateurs and the Titanic was made by professionals. So we are having a lot of fun with this one. We had two engine options actually, and from the intro, if you guys know what that little symbol is, that's actually a McLaren, and that is out of a 2016 McLaren 650S. And one of my customer's brothers is into flipping McLarens. If you guys remember the motorhome that we did the time and cover on, this is the owner's brother.
Yeah, younger brother.
A younger brother. So his brother was nice enough to say, hey, my brother has a smashed up McLaren that has 322 kilometers on it, and he doesn't have a spot for that engine. Would you like a twin turbo 650S McLaren engine? And we said yes. So we went to go see him, and the owner said no. And by all rights, I always thought that there was always maybe a 15% chance that it would actually come true. It doesn't make sense though. We talked to FAF, which is the McLaren dealer in Newmarket, which is close by. We went to go see them. They knew the customer very well. They were willing to work with us, not entirely sponsor us though, so a lot of it would have to come out of our pocket, and really we don't have enough time. I've got stuff in the shop still that needs to be done, and for me to take a McLaren engine, hook it up to an Audi transmission, get it working in a standalone situation, there's about a dozen things that will throw that thing into limp mode, and as awesome as it would be, it doesn't make sense because more than likely we're gonna end up with a Rob Dom scenario where we just don't have a running car, and that would suck. That would be terrible. But we did get two McLaren racing seats. Now they're not fully racing seats, and they are heated and power adjustable. If we're gonna make a race car, we wanna be comfortable, you know? We're no air conditioning, we want at least a little bit of comfort. So these things are amazing. We're trying to take these seats out of this McLaren because we met a couple super nice people who are helping us out with our Audi build, and we're starting to work on McLaren. So this is a 2016 650S, has 332 kilometers on it. The owner had it for 3 days and got a little excited. I think he sneezed, maybe he sneezed, and then he ended up spinning out and hitting a tree. So this car actually was purchased to fix up again, but the carbon fiber tub is destroyed, and it's pretty severe damage. So basically, a lot of these parts went on this car, which is now fully finished, painted, and ready to go. So this one was also in an accident. And this one fixed up, so this is now a daily. And then he also bought another one. So this one actually, I think he got hit in the back left corner here and damaged the door and the quarter panel. And this one, the panels are at the paint shop right now. But we just started noticing that it's actually twisted a little bit. So you can see the engine mount here where it's off just slightly. So the frame on that one is actually going on this one. So the frame on the red one is going on this orange one. You know, I'm pretty tough on the F-150s, especially the 5.4s. The leaking exhaust manifolds can't seem to fix. The pain in the ass it is to work on them. But I've driven this one a little bit now, and I gotta say, like, hands down, my favorite thing about the truck is, I never thought I'd say this, but like without a doubt, the best thing about this truck is this aluminum block in the back. Oh, we're gonna go fast. about the weight of 224s maybe. Beautiful. Put this one right here. And then this one. Use your legs, boys! So, this is actually a spare engine that we got from Tuesley. Thanks to Tuesley for that one. We just needed a bunch of parts for it. This one was miled out, 350,000 kilometers on it. I think we compression tested it and it was no good, so we left it alone. We just used it for parts when we were dynoing the Mercedes engine, just in case we needed something. But I did end up, when the kids were here in the program, I thought I'd show them what a worn engine looks like. So I took my bore gauge and measured the bottom and then measured the top to see what the difference was in the amount of wear. And with 350,000, that seems heavy, I'm a little bit winded. With 350,000 kilometers on it, this one had 1 thou of wear on, we measured 3 cylinders I think, about 1 thou of wear on each one. Now this one, it says on the block itself 4.8 and 5.3, so you don't really know what you're getting. The only difference is the stroke of the crankshaft. It's a shorter stroke for the 4.8. This only says 5.3, but it will soon be a 4.8. I don't know if anybody's done that before or not, but we, just for the weight savings, this weighs 90 pounds less than this, maybe slightly more. I don't know, roughly at least 90, maybe 100 pounds. So that's quite a bit if you actually think that the entire engine is sitting in front of the front axle on that Audi. So we will be lighter than the original 3.6 4-cam engine that was originally in the Audi. So yeah, here we go. All right, Tuesley to the rescue again. Went away for the weekend to Indiana and came back, and this was in the driveway. This is exactly what we wanted. Now I'm going off the fact that Hot Rod Magazine did a story on how much boost can a Vortec make. They thought they were getting a 5.3, but they actually ended up with a 4.8. Now the 4.8 shares the same block as the 5.3, it just has a shorter stroke. So they're able to handle boost better than the 5.3. So I asked Tuesley for a 4.8 liter, and this is what we got. It's got 220,000 kilometers on it, so it's barely broken in. It is drive-by-wire, which we like because there's less chances of going into limp mode, and it actually sounds pretty good. It doesn't start great, but I think that's a fuel pump issue maybe. But yeah, let's take a listen. So it idles nice, no funny noises. So yeah, perfectly good truck, but thanks to Tuesley, we're gonna rip it apart. Oh, of course the body's shot. This one I'm actually, well, like the box is shot and the doors are shot, cab corners are shot, typical GM. If I was a 16-year-old, I'd be inclined to fix this truck up. But we're gonna rip this engine out and throw a bunch of turbos on it. Take it to the dyno and see what we can do. Here we go. Ah, I knew it, LS. We had another LS swap, I don't care. We're gonna build a pretty cool car. We're a diesel channel, so half the parts in this Audi are already from a diesel. We are gonna try something different in the effect that we want a high boost engine at a low RPM. We're not building a drag car where we can stand at the starting line and rev the car up to 3-4 grand, leave the brake on and just connect and take off. We wanna build a road car that can hug the ground, that will keep the traction, and that has a high torque at a low RPM. In all reality, we'll most likely lose the half-mile competition and the drag race. Doesn't matter. Those are over in 8 seconds. We've got 20 minutes of hot lap sessions that we're going to do on a road course, and we figured a high boost, high torque, low RPM engine would be ideal for that. So we are getting a R2S Audi 6-speed transmission built that will hook up to the back of our 4.8 with two RS compound BorgWarner turbos on it, one for each bank. Do you guys follow that? I have a hard time keeping track of that. All right, we've got a couple Zenenbogans going off in the corner, and I think we've got massive rain over there. But we need is another, there it is, another broken down International. So, Joel's gonna get a treat of working on a Power Stroke, and all we're doing is stripping parts because it's garbage. But there's another BorgWarner something or other, R2S or 2RS, something like that. We'll pull that off, hopefully before it starts raining. Right, Joel?
I like the rain.
I'm gonna go inside and chat with the owner, figure out a price, you just yank that off.
All right.
These turbos are really good, but I'll use them for parts anyway. Oh, you got that on camera? I just double jointed my thumb. Let's get the jug. Where is it? There we go. Oh, you're so mean. .28 and 13/16 swap. It'll fit in your Miata. I think you should put this 3.6 in the Miata. Totally. But that's not bad. We can race this. Use your legs, boys. Calf muscles. It's leg day, boys. It's leg day. Nice. Oh, only two.
Last rep.
Only two. So I think there's 800 horses hanging there?
Maybe 800.
So I don't know when the last oil change was, but what we're gonna do is put an oil analysis on the original oil, see what kind of surprises we find in the oil, and then we're gonna beat the living tar out of this engine with Pennzoil's oil and test what kind of abuse that oil can take. So I know that there's lots of different engine options that we could have gone with. We could have rebuilt the Audi that's in there, kept it stock, kept it simple, but that's not us. We're actually big fans of sloppy mechanics, big inspiration to a lot of guys out there. Now, I gotta promise you, we did start this idea before he started building his, but as it came out, I'm like, oh, this is awesome, he's got a 4.8. Now we're hoping to go to a bit more extreme than that. Hot Rod Magazine got 1,200 ponies out of this short block. He really proved about building a budget build around 500 horse. He got it, he proved it. He says, I'm not crazy, I'm not stupid, I'm not lying to you, and that's what YouTube is about, right? Being honest and whatever. So we are going to be building this one. We're not going for 1,200, we're going for about 700-800, something reliable, but basically we're just having some fun with these compounds. It just looks awesome. So this is our double compound turbo setup that we're going to be running on our Audi. Now these are off of the Power Stroke International V6 versions, the International cab overs. This turbo here has about 12 minutes of runtime on it. This one has some more on it, but the Power Strokes don't last very long, so the turbos are in great shape. What we're doing is just putting the wastegate on it yet and finishing up the exhaust. Then we'll put this on our cast block that's on our engine that's built. See what kind of numbers we get, and let's see what kind of numbers we can get. Some predictions now, whether it'll work, whether we're idiots, or whether this is just super cool. Let us know. We don't care. We're gonna test it. If it fails miserably, we'll just put some big turbos on it like everybody else, have some fun with it, but we thought we would give this a shot. Now, if it does work, we will be taking these turbos, mounting them behind the back seat, and then using an aluminum block with a 4.8 setup on it, so the 4.8 crank out of a cast block, and trying to keep it as light as possible. We are hoping for high boost, at a high torque, at a low RPM, And yeah, let us know if you guys think this is gonna work or not. And we need a name for the car. We're thinking Quattro Quattro, 4-wheel drive, 4 turbos. Yeah, here we go. So my wife was so thrilled. She said, "Thank you for my new engine and my Saturn. I love that, but can you please get that piece of shit black, parted out, missing all sorts of parts Saturn and bring that to Tuesley? I don't want to look at it." And I did. But what she doesn't know is when I go to Tuesley's, I always come back with something else. So now this is in our yard. This was also in our first video when we were walking through the scrapyard, or the wrecking yard, sorry, of Andy's. And we considered this one, but we kind of ignored it because of the cracked windshield. It looks rough, and we just thought, oh, there's pieces missing, so we didn't really look into this one because the other one was complete. This ended up, must have been a parts car. I don't know which car was actually in better shape. Because this one's all gutted, I imagine this was the parts car, but I don't understand why he would have put the bumper from the black car back on this car. Either way, the struts and the K-frame are cleaner, the paint's still on it, whereas the other ones are all rusty, so we'll probably pull these off, send them to the sandblaster and get done. Thank you, Tuesley. Once again, go check him out. If you need some parts, he's always good at coming through. Now, the transmission that we're getting built is set to handle about 800 foot-pounds of torque. If we go beyond that, we're just gonna rip the rest of the car apart, so we're not gonna build a 1,000 horsepower twin turbo Corvette because we'll probably just shear transmission input shafts or axles, stuff like that. We're gonna get this thing as light as possible. Right now we're gonna wire it. Advanced Automotion in Austin, Texas right now is building us the R2S transmission 6-speed. It's on, they're dynoing it right now to make sure that it's quiet, that everything is as it should be, and then we need that to get here as soon as we can so we can figure out how to mate it to this LS, and I've got some wonky ideas on that. Very excited about this. We need to hurry up and get this car running and moving so we can test it and tune it before the snow flies, and we've had snow fly as early as October, so really we need to be on the track by October, even though the race isn't until the second week of January. We'll do some snow drifting with this car. I'm very much looking forward to the all-wheel drive, and yeah, that's the Audi update. So thanks for watching the entire thing, even after I said we were putting an LS in it. And I don't care if it's an L33, blah, 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 blah. It's an LS for all we care because nobody's gonna Google an L33 Audi. It's an LS, 6-speed, 700 horsepower, 800 foot-pounds of torque, high boost, low RPM, all-wheel drive, monster that's gonna be competitive. I don't expect to win, but I don't have the $250,000 that some of these people are throwing into the car, and we're having a lot of fun doing this, so here we go. Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because you never know what you're going to see next week on DeBoss Garage. If you like what you see, there's a lot of stuff happening to help support the channel, and remember, if you're not filthy, you're not rich.